So today we are in a lovely island. Today we are in Mallorca and meeting with Daniel Washchke, who's a management partner of Mallorca Gold. Mallorca Gold is an exclusive representative of Knight Frank here in Mallorca. So thank you, Daniel, for participating in my interview. And today I want to change it a little bit and not really ask very much questions. I just want you to tell us about the island a little bit more. You know, why it's interesting to buy property here. It's all about the weather, or it's about the lifestyle, and also if it is interesting to invest. We can actually start with you and with your company, how long you've been working already in the real estate field, and about your experience here in Mallorca.
All right. Thank you, Ekaterina, and thank you also to Knight Frank Moscow for your interest in Mallorca. I was born in Mallorca. I have a German mother, Spanish father, and I was living until 18 years in Mallorca. Then I need to go up to Germany. I was 5 years in Germany, and when I came back, then I realized that Mallorca has everything that is what I'm looking for, and I think also our clients are looking for. It's a beautiful island. You have mountain range, you have golf courses, you have marinas, you have a very big airport, you have a lot of security places that you can be with your kids. And I think that is the main USP for real estate. Mallorca is a very wanted destination. Short direct flights from many airports in Europe, and I think that is the key point. I started real estate about 18 years ago. I was working for a German brand called Daniel Washchke for 9 years, then 3 years with Sotheby's Real Estate. And since 4 years, I was working in Mallorca Gold, and I took over in 3 years ago. So in all these years, I realized how much properties are for sale in Mallorca, and we decided in Mallorca Gold to specialize in the very high-end properties. We have made a cut, and we are starting to list properties from 2 million and more. I believe strongly that the same agency or the same people can transmit the buyer a 300,000 apartment or a 30 million villa. It has to be or one thing or the other, and therefore we have specialized in the very high-end sector. What we are most selling are properties between 5 and 8 million, because these properties do have sea view villa and good construction quality. You cannot find a good construction quality sea view villa in Mallorca below 5 million, and that is what the most demand are. We have in Mallorca Gold 5 offices. The main office is in Palma by Zombieda. We have another one in Puerto de Andratx. These two are taking care about the southwest from Mallorca, which is the place to be. I will say that 7 or 8 out of 10 buyers will prefer this part of the island, because you have all what the people are looking for. We have the 7 out of 10 international schools are there, 14 out of 23 golf courses are in Southwest, and especially the offer of shops, restaurants, and entertainment for all kind of age. Other parts of the island are also very well wanted, but more for people that are looking to be completely quiet, tranquil in a very nice landscape. The Southwest, they have 4 big areas. The first one is the city of Palma with the Gulf Zombieda, where we are right now. Then the second one is Vendinat Portals, which the marina of Puerto Portals and also the golf course of Real Club Vendinat. The third one is Santa Ponsa Port Adriano, again with 3 golf courses and 3 marinas. And the last one is Puerto de Andratx and Camp de Mar. These 4 areas of the Southwest are the most wanted for buyers. In the other offices that we have one in the west coast that is covering the area of Soller, Valldemossa and Deià, one in Pollença with Formentor, Pollença, Puerto de Alcúdia, and the fifth one in the area of northeast of Arta and Canyamel. So in total we are presented by 5 offices, and I think we can deliver a good part of the high-end properties for the whole island. Maybe for my personal recommendation or suggestion, I really think that when we compare, having also you from Moscow, we had the last week 3 collaboration companies from Switzerland and from Germany, and all of them, and I think also you, were also impressed about the geography, the beauty of the island. And that is maybe not so known by Russian citizens. I think there is really something to discover. Mallorca is really not an island with 3 palm trees and a lot of sand beaches. There are a lot of very nice areas, very green areas. 40% of the island. The island is in total 3,500 square kilometers, and 40% of that is completely green area, protected land. In addition, there is 23 golf courses, and also like here in Somvida, most of the plots are bigger to have more extension of garden, and gardening, golf courses and protected area are really something that it is not so given in other destinations that could compete with Mallorca, like for instance Tuscany or Turkey or Croatia or whatever. So I think that is a very nice geographic part. Also the mountain range, the highest mountain is only 1,400 meters high, but there is from Puerto de Andratx until the North Pollença 100 kilometers of a mountain range that covers you from the north wind, and especially the area of southwest is hidden by this coverage. So it's also nice to be in January outside in the midday to enjoy a lunch or to enjoy a coffee by the sea. That is something possible because you have the protection from the wind from the mountain range.
So who are the main buyers here in Mallorca? I would say the strongest buyers. From which country they come from?
They are just Northern European buyers, and very strong Germany, Austria and Swiss. I would say this will be maybe 60%. Then British buyers and Scandinavian. These are maybe another 20%, and then a little bit of everywhere, but mainly Northern European buyers are.
Mm-hmm. So they are looking for a house to live here for a short period, like for 6-7 months, or for a year, for example.
That is changing. It used to be holiday home, just for less than 3 months in a year, couple of weeks in the summer, and then 1 week in Easter, in winter, or in spring. And right now we notice that buyers become younger with kids and still in working process. They have now new technologies that they can do from Thursday to Sunday in Mallorca, and then from Monday to Wednesday in Austria or in Stockholm. So they are now changing minds, and they do need also to have a good winter holiday home in Mallorca. Means the holiday houses needs to be also efficient with heating and aircon and a good kitchen for the whole year. It is changing, and I think my view is that it will change more. It will become more that people are buying houses here for more than 6 months. Until now, I would say it's more holiday homes, less than 6 months.
Mm-hmm. But is it possible, for example, to buy a house and then rent it out? And if yes, how much could be a return?
Yes, that is very easy if it's a single villa in a residential area. It is more difficult, almost impossible, if you own an apartment in the city of Palma. In both cases, you need a license. The license for a villa in a residential area is quite easy to obtain. And then you can do both. You can do either the weekly holiday rental or the whole year, 12 months. The average of income is generally, but it's good to have some digits, is about 3% for the buying price. Let's put an example. If you buy a villa of 5 million euros, then you have a yearly income of rental of 150,000, which will be more or less 10,000, 12,000 a month for a 5 million villa. This 10,000, 12,000 could also be achieved in weeks on the high season, which is June, July, and August.
Mm-hmm. So it means that you cannot really rent out an apartment in Palma unless it has a touristic license.
Yes.
But with all the villas
in the residential areas
outside,
there is very easy. Yeah. In Palma is now a prohibition. You cannot. The authorities will not give more license for renting out flats in Palma, but they will give in Son Vida, where we are now, is belonging to Palma, but that is a residential area, and then you can easily obtain a license to rent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So can we go through the whole buying process from start to finish? Let's say I decided to buy a house in Mallorca here in Porto Venere, and of course I will ask you, Daniel, to help me. So how it happened? So you meet the client here, show the property, and then how it goes?
Yeah, normally the first viewing is to check which one are matching your search criteria. We have a lot of stock. That means that probably you will have 3 to 4 that are similar in your process. Normally the buyer come back again for have a second viewing. And then when you decided this is the villa that you want, we guide you and we suggest you which offer you should place that the owner probably will accept. We help you to have a status of accepted offer. And then we highly recommend to use a lawyer to guide you through the process. In terms of cost, the buying costs are quite high. They are in total about 13%. 10% are property tax, and then you have one part to pay the notary register and lawyer fees. In total will be around 12 and 13%. In Spain, the buyer is not paying the commission from the real estate. It goes 100% for the seller.
And what about the other expenses when you own the property, the maintenance fee and the property tax? How much is it per year?
The yearly property tax is very low. I give you an example again of a 5 million property. Will have yearly cost of property tax of around 4,000 or 5,000 euros a year. All buyers needs to have Spanish tax number. It is quite easy to obtain. And therefore, every year you have also to have a tax income declaration stating that you own that property with that value. But generally speaking, property tax is about 5,000 to 10,000 or max 15,000 per annum, which is very reasonable.
So what about the prices here? How the prices has been changing since, I don't know, 5 years ago? And where is the prices now? They're on the top or they're on the bottom or somewhere in the middle?
Who knows? That would be very good to have 100% knowledge about that.
But you've been working a lot, so your experience.
From my experience, I see in a very healthy moment. And there is no reason to think that it will not continue in the next years. We noticed that I go back even 15 years ago. When I started, it was enough to have a nice sea view, nothing else. Then the next years, the quality of the construction needs to be much, much better. And the last 3 years, it is not enough to have a very good quality construction in a very good sea view position. You also need to have a complete package from interior design, from furniture, and from harmonic elements of construction. The villas that are selling more easily are villas that are newly built or completely refurbished, and also completely designed with an interior design concept. People are willing to pay a lot of money if everything is ready to enjoy for the first moment. If buyers have to make a new kitchen, a new bathroom, or a new whatever, it will not be so easy to sell. Right now, there is a good moment because there is a lack of land. There is no land available, especially in the southwest. Normally, when the market comes to that point, the logical next step is that the price will increase because the demand is still there and the offer cannot attend this demand. In the highest end, our prices, if you compare that with euro per square meter, are still below 15,000. The top location are between 10 and 15,000 euros per square meter. So it's still a lot to go. We will never reach the 50,000 or 70,000 euro per square meter that Monte Carlo or Cap Ferrat has. But we definitely can go to the Zurich or to the Stockholm or to the Munich areas where the prices are definitely higher. In the last 5 years, it was a constant growing from I will say 3 to 5% per annum, always with one condition, that you have to have what I call indestructible sea view. You have to be in a hilly position, in a top hill or in a mid hill, but with a clear view to the water, high enough that no construction can block you the view, or that the pine trees or that the trees cannot block you the view. If you own or if you buy a villa in the southwest with indestructible sea view, I will consider, I'm sure that the increase yearly will be still between 3 and 5%.
The interesting question about the investment opportunity. As you say that there is a lack of plots here where it's possible to build property. So for those investors who are looking to invest in a development project, are there any opportunities here, and how do you estimate return on investment?
Not anymore. There is the project is 3 to 4 years, and normally the return for an investor should be between 30 and 40% out of this period of time. But there are not plot available. That means that we have more than 10 investors that are developers that are constantly asking if they can buy a plot of land. Now they're buying old houses to knock them down, to refurbish that. This is always a little bit more expensive, and sometimes you have to adapt the construction to the site that was before. And it is true that it's a lack of plot available. There is almost no land available. I think there is right now 2 or 3 single plots available in the whole southwest for 1,000 square meter, and they are prices from more than 2 million. So it is 2,000 to 3,000 euros per square meter for a good plot in a good position, and this will be gone this year. So for the next year, investors that are wanting to do a project in the southwest probably will only need to buy like in established market, like also in the Alps or in the north of Germany, in the island of Sylt, that you can only buy old houses to refurbish.
What issues, what problems can clients face when they buy property here? How transparent is the process? For example, when the developers start selling the property, they at this point they should have already all license, or they can start selling it without construction license. How? I mean, that also could be a problem for the clients.
Not in Spain. Since I think 8 or 9 years, we have a very good digital information from the land register and from the cadastre organization. In both cases, everybody can have access to see how is the property in that moment. If there is any mortgage, if there is any charges, if there is any liabilities. The most of our buyers are more interested in buying finished and furnished villa that is obvious that all the licenses are at place. Some of them are buying in construction phase. The normal in these cases is to deposit the payments in a notary escrow account so that the buyer has the money safe, and then ask the lawyer to check that all the license and all the permits are there. But again, compared to the rest of European countries, Spain has a very easy and digital system from property land register and cadastre organization that is very efficient. It's updated, everybody can have access, and in short time your lawyer can check, or even yourself, that this property is free of charge, free of encumbrance. You also, lawyers are also always willing to ask the vendor a certificate from the town hall that they do not have any open file. That is for more security. And then they have the guarantee from the three. They have the guarantee from the developer, from the constructor, and from the architect for one side. And then the lawyers has also this responsibility of insurance if something happens. So in my experience, I have never heard, and that is 18 or 20 years ago, that somebody could have an issue that they buy a property that belongs to another one, or that there is a big mortgage that nobody knew, or things that can happen in other countries, but not in Spain.
Okay, great. Many clients are interested in the area where they can buy now a cheap property or a cheap plot, and then in some years the price will go up. So are there any areas which you can recommend?
Actually not. And it's true that I get many times this question, and my answer is always the same. It is right that if you buy outside Southwest, you get probably 1/3 or a little bit less money for the same villa. But when you want to resell that, you will have much more difficulties. The best area is since 10 years Southwest, and in 10 years more or 20 years more, it will be Southwest. It is true that in the last 10 years, the prices in Southwest has risen more than in other part of the island. But then whenever the buyer will sell again, he will find it much more easier to sell Southwest. So my recommendation to all the clients that you can bring us is that concentrate in the Southwest for reselling or investment purposes. Other thing is that they choose other areas to have more tranquility and more relaxed, fine for that. But the most of the buyers are happy to hear that it is easy to resell whenever they want to move the property again, and then Southwest undestructible sea view is the place to be, no other.
So let's speak again. Why Mallorca? Why the economy is strong, and what advantages of being here in Mallorca? So you say that there are many international schools, and
yes.
The airport is close.
I will say basically the easy access. The accessibility is the number one. People are getting younger. The buyers are becoming younger. And these younger buyers do not want to waste any minute. That means the flights has to be direct flights, easy flights, with no scale. And that is the big plus from the island. Not only in the commercial, also in the private jet flights. Right now, Palma de Mallorca Airport is the third busiest private airport in Europe. Just before is Cannes and Nice. After Cannes and Nice comes Mallorca. Before Moscow, before London, before Zurich, before Berlin. So it's amazing how many daily flights are not only in the commercial flights, also in the private flights. Once the accessibility is done, then it's also not so easy to find an island with that nature, with that green protected area, and again with 23 golf courses, with all these restaurants, all these marinas, all this security. Still the King of Spain is a permanent resident from the island. That means the security from the island, it can be closed by air or by sea, and it's again a security in addition to other countries or to other destinations. I cannot see any competition today for Mallorca. New areas that are in developing, that I'm speaking now from Croatia or Turkey or the north of Africa, until they have these 30 million passengers per annum or these 10,000 movements of private flights per month, then maybe they reach that, but they will never have so many golf courses, so many marinas, so many international schools. So in the next 5 years, for sure not. And if I view back, 10 years ago, Mallorca was in the same line as one in Spain, which are Costa Brava and Marbella. And they were also competing with the Tuscany, with Croatia, and with Greece in sometimes. And this is now very changed a lot. Mallorca properties are really much more exclusive and expensive than this other destination. And also important to finalize how Mallorca real estate market is focused in non-residential. Even the vendors are non-Spanish. 90% of the vendors are already Germans or Swiss or British, and 100%, almost 99% of the buyers are non-residents. Having non-residents, healthy sellers, healthy buyers, and with a connectivity from the airport, it is then not so important the local economy, the Spanish economy, the Spanish political situation. Right now, Spain do not have any government, nobody cares. Even the Brexit, nobody cares. What they do care is to fly directly and don't lose 2 hours in an airport between Barcelona or Frankfurt. Easy thing, you have to easy access, then from the airport, easy way to the house. Everything has to be ready, everything has to be done for them. And then they are willing to pay a lot of money and be happy holiday owners here.
So thank you very much, Daniel. It's really, really very interesting interview. And Mallorca is a beautiful island. I recommend everyone who hasn't been here yet to come, as the weather is really lovely and the sea is amazing. And Mallorca is so green, so I didn't expect to see so much greenery here. And the infrastructure is very nice, so it's really highly recommended to go and view the property with us. So thank you.
Thank you very much also. Pleasure.